Sean from Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio. Welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. We're on a Whirlpool gas dryer. Complaint is that it's not heating. What we're going to do is we're going to turn it on, and there's a noise that I'm going to listen for. It's our coils on our gas valve being engaged. And what I'll probably do is just turn it on and off a couple times quickly. That way I'm sure I'm not missing the noise. And that will tell me whether or not power is being supplied to the gas coils or it's not. There could also be a burnout coil, which is very rare, which would make it not become energized. So that's what we'll do now. We're going to go ahead and just turn it on and off a couple times in a row and go from there. Alright, so I'm going to put it into just a time position. I'm going to hold the on and start button down. Alright, and I did not hear the noise. So generally what that means is that power is not getting to the gas valve assembly or burner assembly. And by understanding how these units are wired up, typically there's a fuse and a thermostat that are on the back side that would have gone bad. So we're going to pull the unit out, remove the back panel, and check the components from there. Okay, I've already unplugged the unit here. I've disconnected the vent. And what we're going to do, the gas line isn't really long enough for me to be able to pull the unit out to work on it. So what I'll do is I'm just going to tilt it forward because I'm tall. I can reach over the back and get all the screws to remove the back panel. So that's what we'll do now. And if you're not comfortable doing it this way, obviously you could disconnect your gas line to pull it out all the way, but I don't want to mess with that. So we're just going to tilt it forward, just in this fashion here. And take a peek at that gas line, make sure I don't overextend it and damage it. So with the unit in this fashion here, now I can reach all the screws to remove the back panel and get to all the components on the back. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start removing our screws. Back panel will come off. Just want to be careful, the panel is very sharp and it's not heavy, it's just awkward as far as the weighting goes. Now I have access to all my thermostats, my high limit thermostats, my thermal fuse, and my cycling thermostat. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start with my thermal fuse just because I suspect that's the problem. So I have my meter set to the ohms, and I'm just going to disconnect one of the wires. And I was wrong. How about that? The fuse is intact. It's fine. So now we're going to go up here to the high limit thermostat. And just like that, I'm going to disconnect the wire so it doesn't create a reverse circuit and give me a bad reading. So here's my first one, and that one is open. Right there. So I'm going to check the other one that mounts right next to it and just make sure that that is okay. And that one is okay. I'm just going to double check the one that showed open, make sure I had a good connection, and it's definitely open. So we have an open high limit thermostat or fuse here that's causing our problem, so I'll get an estimate for that. Alright, so this is our bad component here. We're going to go ahead and remove it. We're going to remove the other terminal, slide straight off. There's one screw that holds it in place. So we're going to go ahead and take this out. And the thermostat happened to come off with me, and that's alright. So we're going to set that aside, grab our new component, and on it here there's only one screw, so the other one has a little tab that we just tuck inside the other screw hole, line up the thermostat, and fasten it down. Hook up our wiring. And now we can then put our back panel back on and hook up the vent and turn the unit on. Alright, so I already placed my back panel in position. There's a little tab or a bent long slot, maybe about 12 to 18 inches long, that fits in the slot on the base of the dryer. So I already have that in position. So now I'm just going to rotate this forward, line up my screw holes. I'm going to leave the first couple a little loose so it gives me a little wiggle room with this panel because sometimes all the holes don't line up right away. So everything's hooked up there. Last thing to do will be hook up the vent, plug it in, and we'll turn it on. Okay, we hooked up the dryer vent, so I'm just going to check, make sure it's not crimped in any fashion. Everything looks good behind it. I don't hear any sort of gas leak or anything from blowing the unit in or out. There's no odor of a gas leak. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. Then we can turn the unit on and make sure it's going to heat. Alright, that's the click, if you heard it, that I was looking for the first time, which we didn't have. So that means that there's power going to the gas valve. Open up the first coil on the gas valve. The igniter's coming on. Once it gets warm enough, it's going to hit the trip the flame sensor, which then opens up the second coil on the valve, lets the gas come in, and it just ignited. So we have heat and we're back in business. Thank you for watching another quality in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.